All right. Facebook, Instagram, we're back for another episode, World of Controversy Podcast, episode 4. I'm Germ.Griffin. You can follow me at Germ.Griffin. We got the brother J-Rob in the house.
J-Rob. J Wizzle underscore.
Hey, there we go. There we go. And we got a special guest, Keyonna Butler. Keyonna Butler, you can follow her at
Keyonna_Butler or at by Keyonna Butler. It's Keyonna.
All right. That sounds good. Yes, sounds
good.
Rob, what we talking about today?
All right. So, we in controversy. So, this may be a little old, but we're still going to bring it up. It was originally planned for our earlier, when we was going to come out earlier. But we're talking about Lil Nas X and Lizzo, their rise to fame, and their controversial issues that surround them.
Yes. Lil Nas X and Lizzo. We've been talking about doing this for a while. I'm super excited. We got a great guest today, Keyonna Butler, who is a fashion designer. She's an artist in the Philadelphia area. She gonna help us out with breaking down these two controversial artists who really rose to fame quite quickly in the year 2019 due to the app TikTok. I'm not on TikTok because I'm not cool, but I will say that the two really got big due to the app, and I am a fan of Old Town Road. I like Old Town Road. I don't care what y'all say. It was a good song. Yeah.
So they really got famous off of TikTok, though?
I think so.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, well, Lizzo had her song out already.
Correct.
And it didn't get, noticed until it became on the Netflix original, I think, series or movie.
Well, Orange is the New Black.
It was a movie with Gina, I think her name is Gina Rodriguez, and the lead actress from She Gotta Have It on Netflix.
Okay.
It was a movie that they did, and they sung the song on there.
Right.
Yeah, they played the song, the girls dancing. That's when everybody really discovered Lizzo's song. And they discovered Lizzo, and that's how she got famous. She was always out there.
She's been an artist since, I think 2016, 2017. She's been out for a long time.
That song was been famous that song been out in 2017 or whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
And then last year, it just got popular because of Netflix. So, thanks, Netflix, I guess.
Thanks, Netflix. I still say thanks, TikTok, and especially for Lil Nas X. I don't know if y'all know this, but they actually asked Lil Nas X. Lil Nas X, Old Town Road, was released it was actually released what is it called, independently, in December 2018. And TikTok was going through a phase where they were going through cowboy memes, and pretty much he released a song and he put it under the country category on SoundCloud. And he put it under the country category on another app too. And it goes history. People started doing the TikTok. Someone asked them, they're like, do you think that TikTok should have paid you money for Old Town Road? All them little clips had Old Town Road, and Lil Nas X looked at the interviewer, I guess, and said, no, if anything, I should be paying TikTok, because they're the ones that made that song big, and I always thought that was interesting. So he has much thanks to TikTok. It got released independently in 2018, re-released in 2019, and the remix was released in April 2019.
So yeah, with Lil Nas X though, his song Old Town Road.
Right.
They put it on the country billboards.
Correct.
It was #1. And then out of nowhere they just said, oh no, it's not country, you take it off. And that's where the controversy came in. Right. A lot of people said it was country, even a lot of country artists. And you got some people like, oh no, it's hip hop. And Lil Nas X, he kind of mixed the hip hop and the country together.
Correct. He debuted on 3 different charts: Hot 100, the rap chart, hip hop chart, whatever, and the country chart. So yeah,
Yes.
that song was originally on 3 different charts.
Yes, it was.
That's deep.
And the fact of the matter is, when you listen to it, it sounds country.
To me.
It sounds country to me.
There's country elements.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's
yeah.
kind of similar to what Nelly used to do back in the day. You wouldn't really consider Nelly a country artist, but he was influenced by country music.
Dang.
And he worked with country artists like Tim McGraw. That was like one of his biggest songs. You don't really get bigger in country, definitely as a hip hop artist, unless you work with a country music artist like Nelly did with Tim McGraw. Lil Nas X did it with Billy Ray Cyrus. That's why.
That's what I was about to mention.
Because
Billy Ray Cyrus
never would have got on a remix. I don't think that song would have got any further. Definitely wouldn't have took it off the track. But I do think it's a hip hop song. It just has country elements.
Okay.
I think it would still been big even without Billy Ray Cyrus.
Not in like the country segment, but in like hip hop. Yeah, for sure.
I think it would still been big in the country because a lot of people was already saying like a lot of country artists.
So
now, Billy Ray Cyrus hopped on.
Correct.
And he even said like it's a country song. So
he did?
Yeah, he did. There's interviews of that.
Wow.
That's because I actually listen to actual country music.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been listening to country music for a while. Like my sister got me into it. I don't listen to it as much, but I used to listen to it a lot. And so I know how strict they are with like, even when like Taylor Swift was like made, like on her albums, they were like, "Oh, you're not a country star. Get out of here." Like they're really strict. Yeah, I think it was the
Taylor Swift sounds
it was
so
a Taylor
country.
Swift, it was the 1989 song, 89 album, and there was some more like pop elements, and like
one of the 22.
Yeah,
that
it was like
wasn't
I think
that
it was like
one
Shake It Off or whatever.
Shake It Off.
And they was like on like the country award shows, like making jokes about her, and like she kind of got like outcasted because of that album. So I can see why. I can see like the logic behind why they try to like push him out because they're very strict about who is country and who's not country.
Right. That's correct.
I mean, I don't listen to too much country. That's like my least favorite genre. And
and I'm gonna be honest, I don't either. I don't listen to too much country, and I have heard people who actually listen to country will say that's not a country song.
Yes,
and I've heard the people who don't listen to country, they almost always say, "Come on, yo, that was a country song." So I it's not my genre. I have heard someone make the argument that a lot of the country music of the day would not have been considered country music back in the day. When country was older years ago.
No.
Country has evolved. So, you know what I mean? Don't think that, we can't think that country music isn't an evolving genre, just like hip hop is too,
Well, music, period, is evolving. It always evolves.
Correct.
So, when you talk about like country, pop, rap, R&B, throughout the years, they're not going to stay the same. They're going to evolve, and they're going to keep evolving.
Right.
I think they evolved, though, because they found out that, like, hip-hop was, like, the #1 genre. They all evolved to, like, sound like hip-hop. Like, if you listen to pop music doesn't sound like pop music. It sounds like everybody wants a feature from the Migos or Cardi B, or, like, it sounds hip-hop because they want to target that audience. It's the same thing with country music. It's the same thing with even gospel music. Like, I've heard gospel music, and it sounds like a hip-hop song. Like, I remember when Kurt Franklin, they used to, like, look at him strange because of the music that he did. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing with country music. It's a lot of country music that team up with rappers, and, like, it has that more of that sound, and it doesn't sound like pure country music. So it's right that people would say, like, if you listen to country music from, like, even, like, the early 2000s, it sounds completely different than now, so.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good take. That's a very good take. What y'all think about Billboard in general? Someone was trying to break down that them charts were racially categorized anyway.
Billboards. Oh.
Yeah.
Y'all want to go with Billboard?
In fact, someone told me the reason why we got an R&B track is to make sure blacks weren't on the country charts. I mean, or vice versa. That there was, you know, what I mean, race actually made sure that black people stayed on this chart and whites or other races stayed on another chart. We still have a Latin chart. I don't know if y'all know this. There's a Latin 100.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking about.
There's a Latin 100.
With the Latino artists.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I make a Latin song? I'm not. You know. Can you make a Latin song? You know.
Can I make?
Can you make a Latin song?
I think I can.
Right. And but what would be the argument? Same thing with Lil Nas X. How country did he have to be considered country? And I'm not just arguing that Rodeo or Old Town Road was not country, but I'm just trying to figure out how country it gotta be. I remember when Old Town Road came out. I'm gonna give you a personal story. And when I really started listening to it, liking it, and I was mad. I was heated. I'm like, yo, why they didn't keep it on the country charts? It's a country song. I don't get it. You know, Germ in his house, like, yeah, I don't get it. And Jayana, my sister, is breaking down that, well, that guy, you know, I was for him staying on the country charts too, but you know he's not really country. Like, he's from the hood, and he's like that. And I started to really evaluate what in our minds makes something country. What you know what I mean? Just because he's from the hood, could he have still made a country song? You know,
he still could have. I mean, he was talking about being on the road on a horse.
Yeah,
like that's
stuff
country talk about.
But I will say this: I think she was making the argument he don't even have the country accent. Yeah, I think he put that accent on, right? Oh no, I can't do it. Y'all know me. I can't do it.
What makes country music isn't like the subject, it's just the elements.
Okay.
This like I mean, I guess it's certain things that you hear in country music, like a pickup truck or something like that. But I think it's the musical elements that make it country. But still, I don't know. It's just when I listen to actual country music and when I listen to his music, you can fit it in. Definitely with country music that's out now, but traditionally. It doesn't sound like it,
okay,
but
right.
Do I think they should have stayed on the chart? Yeah, I think he should have stayed on the chart because people made the argument around that time that Post Malone is on hip hop and he doesn't make hip hop music. He said out his mouth he doesn't make hip hop music, but he's still on hip hop charts.
Talking about Post Malone,
and no one takes him off the chart, you know. So he should have stayed, yeah. Because it does have country. It's influenced by country music, so
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone tried to play it off too. Someone was like an anonymous. How do you say that word? A source that did not want to let it be known.
Anonymous source.
Yeah.
Yes, that source said that you know it was a mistake for us to put it on the chart. I'm sorry about that. We mistakenly put it on the. Yeah, that don't sound right. Something's up with that. Oh, we mistakenly put a whole song on the chart.
Well, they knew what they was doing.
Yeah, right. That's what it sounded like.
They knew what they was doing. They acknowledged it as country to put it on the country billboard.
Correct.
So, how do you acknowledge it as being country, and the next thing you know, he's talking about, oh, no, it's not country. We got to take it off.
Right.
I think what happened probably is they had them, they announced it and they put it on, like the billboard in charge of the billboard, and country consumers, probably was outraged. Like people who actually listen to their music probably didn't agree with it, and because country music, well, yeah, because country music is like one of the best-selling genres. Like people actually go out and buy country music, like albums still. Like
hold on, seriously, they
do.
They're the best. They're the best genre.
It's not the best genre, but the best-selling.
Best selling?
It's like not like the top, like hip hop is at the top, but they have a very like steady. It has like a very steady like consumer base, and so their consumer base was probably angry, and so they wanted to take him off, even though they know like if he ended up on a chart and if he deserved to be on the chart, he should have stayed on there. But his consumer base was probably angry, like the country consumer base. And they probably didn't want this young black man representing their genre or what they thought was their genre, and so they had him take him off.
Correct.
So that's probably where that mistake thing came from.
Yeah, white people do get mad when black people get on top. So,
and it's
especially when we dominating their.
Well, historically, it's a black genre.
Actually, I was about to go there
Whoa.
too.
Yeah.
I was about to go there too.
Like the people, like what a lot of people don't know is like the banjo was created by black people. Like when slavery, like around the time slavery just started, that was around the time where the banjo first started, and country music actually came from black music, black artists. And there's a lot of like very well-known country music and artists that are black, but it's one of those things, kind of like how a lot of white people will take like rock and roll. Rock and roll was also a black genre that was taken from white people because they redid the songs and they got all the credit.
That culture appropriation.
So originally, country music is a black genre. It just historically, all you saw was white people. So that's why people think that. And it's a really good documentary about it. I saw it on YouTube, but if I remember it, I can't remember it. I'll share it. But yeah, black people technically started country music.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Well, episode 4, World of Controversy podcast. We're here. I'm Jerem Griffin. This is Jay Wizzle. We're on the track. We got a special guest, Keyonna Butler. You can listen to us live on Instagram and on Facebook. And of course, Podchaser, Anchor, and wherever else you listen to your podcast. We don't have too much time, but I want to go to the next topic, which is Lizzo. Okay, Lizzo got really big in 2019. She actually released songs in 2016.
2017 too.
2017, Truth Hurts, which is, I believe, her biggest hit, was released in 2017. It got re-released as a radio mix in 2019. Good as Hell got, excuse me for that language. It actually was originally recorded for Barbershop, The Next Cut, in 2016, I believe, and got re-released in 2019. She is the most nominated artist at the Grammys, the 2019 Grammys that she was the most nominated, not the most awarded, but for
of course not the most awarded, but
I think Billie Eilish, the young woman Billie Eilish, got her. But I think she performed Juice at Ellen, The Today Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, and Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. She had a run. Let me just start off with that. That girl had a run. But she's still a very controversial figure for some of the things she said and
some of the things she did.
Okay. All right, Rob. Okay, break it down for us, man.
Y'all want me to break it down?
You itching for it. You itching for it.
All right. Y'all really want me to break this down? Because I know we about to get real controversial here.
All right, go ahead.
When we talk about
Start
this.
it up.
And I'm going to say this. No, we're not fat shaming her. So anybody that comes out here to talk about fat shaming, I don't like when you excuse people doing dumb stuff and then try to say you shaming them. Y'all guys know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like when Lizzo came to LeBron James' game last year, right? Y'all remember that?
Okay. Yeah.
She had that dress, right? And in the back, there was a hole. You see her little booty with her little thumb.
Yeah. So that was like December 2018 or December 2019,
2019.
right?
2019.
Okay. So she go to a Laker game. She got her behind out.
Her
to
behind
a certain extent, right?
Out.
Right.
Showing her thumb.
Twerking.
Yo, twerking.
Not during the game. It was during the halftime show and one of them, the cheerleading session. You know, the cheerleaders are dancing to Juice. They asked Lizzo, can we dance to your song? And supposedly she got so happy that she started twerking out there too.
But what makes that okay?
What? The twerking or the fact that her behind was out twerking?
Both.
Oh, dang. Well, I mean, nothing really makes it okay, but do she have the right?
Did she have the right?
She got the right, but was that the place and time?
I mean, at a basketball game, there's a professional basketball game, right?
Right.
We're at a stadium.
Right.
People come. They bring their family, children.
Right.
Children
Yeah.
come to these things.
Yeah.
So, should we have children get this type of view?
No.
Should the children be able to see a young woman?
Well, I don't watch sports. I've been to one basketball game, and I've seen people get drunk, have excessive alcohol around kids, cursing, fighting, getting very loud, and no one says anything about children then. So we should not bring children up now. They've seen worse on Instagram, TikTok, and social media, and no one says anything about people's butts being out when it's Rihanna, Lady Gaga. They all wore similar costumes or similar outfits to basketball games.
That's interesting.
Rihanna literally wore a dress where her boobs was exposed, and everybody thought she was a queen.
Wait, at the game?
Not at a game, but it was out. Like, she wore outfits where her
Yeah, we
nipples
got the
was
pics
exposed.
of her nips. They're
plenty of
online.
times, and
Yeah,
people
yeah.
had no problem
Yeah.
with it, whether it was Rihanna. Lady Gaga has gone to, like, grocery stores with stockings and thongs.
Wow.
No
I
one
have,
has
I have a
said
problem with Lady
nothing.
Gaga.
But in society, no one said anything. They had a problem with it because she was a big woman. Because if she was smaller, no one would have said anything.
I think I would have. I would still.
They saw her come in wearing that outfit.
Dang.
They saw her come in. They had the camera on her when she came into the room. They played her song, and she danced. They didn't have to put her on a jumbo screen. They could have took the cameras off of her.
Yeah, why did they put her?
They
on
put
the
her on
screen?
camera because they liked it. They thought, oh, Lizzo, she's twerking, oh, it's so fun. They just don't like that. It's a bigger woman who's confident in her body enough to wear that.
Interesting.
That's what it was. Because if that was Beyonce, no one would have said anything.
I don't know.
Okay.
But
No,
Beyonce,
I
but hold up, Keyonna, Beyonce wouldn't have showed her behind like that. Though.
Yeah,
But
she
if it was
definitely
someone
wouldn't.
like that, they wouldn't. It was if it's somebody with her body type, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Okay.
There is a point in that.
You do got a point in that. I do give you a point in that. Now, here's my thing, okay? Because ain't nothing wrong with a woman, big, small, whatever, that is confident in their body. You should be confident in your body. Now, when you out in public showing your ass, I think that is something, like, especially like in front of children. And I'm with you on the people getting drunk part in front of children. I don't agree with any of that either. So, when you out showing yourself in front of children, you got family, I think we should draw the line. Shouldn't it be a line draw?
I mean, if I don't want to see anything, I just don't look at it. If they did want her to wear that, they could have easily stopped her at the door and said, "There's families and children here. Can you please go back and change your
That's
clothes?"
something to think about.
See,
They
and
didn't.
they should have done that. They should have done that.
So we have to condemn people what they wear, how they creatively express themselves.
To a certain age. To a certain
So we have to
point.
censor people and their clothing choices.
To a certain point, you should.
What if someone said you came into a room and someone says, "I don't like your locks"?
That's a whole different thing, though.
But why? If you came into a job interview and the
Okay.
person came in and said, "I didn't like your locks," you have to cut them off. You have a problem with that.
Oh, they do that a lot. Anyway.
Exactly. It's wrong. It's wrong to
Wow.
to censor someone creatively of how they express themselves.
Was she doing it for a bag? Or for publicity?
I think that's just her brand. That's her personality.
That's her brand.
That's her brand. That's her personality.
So let's break that down. I want to talk about a comment Azalea Banks said, and I know she's so controversial, but I love her. You know, one day we're gonna get married, and Azalea Banks, you know, she said that, you know, I mean, they got her up here. And this is before the LA game. I want to say that too. Azalea Banks said the girl is legit talented and truly only being allowed to shine so long as she allows herself to be this millennial mammy of sorts. And then there was a PhD professor who actually wrote an article about decolonizing mammy. And she says this: Banks insists that fat black women performers conform to a more rigid politics of respectability than their slimmer counterparts. But more importantly, it demonstrates an inability to see fat black female bodies as able to exist outside of the iconography of mammy. That was a mouthful. What this woman is trying to say is that she's arguing that we're putting a pressure on larger black women to be more respectable looking, and that we can't see fat black women as anything other than mammy. What do you think about that? And is Lizzo a mammy? Is she a millennial mammy like Banks is saying? Let's break that down.
Yeah, so what you mean by mammy?
So I think she's referring to the icon in some of these minstrel shows as a character that kind of just works in the white people's kitchen, take care of the white people's kids, a coon of sorts, and
stereotypical
and larger. You're often seen as larger black women. I don't really get into all these icon minstrel shows. I think we dig way too deep into them, but I understand and I see where she's coming from. Are we just looking at Lizzo like that because she fat?
I wouldn't say Lizzo is a mammy.
I can't really say that either. I've heard it said multiple times that Lizzo just a mammy. Lizzo, you know what I mean? They're almost like promoting her by saying, oh, she loves her body and stuff. But really, she just showing white liberals are parading Lizzo around and making fun of Lizzo. And I've always thought about this. I don't know where I fit in this. I want to hear y'all two views about it. Are they parading Lizzo around? I mean, she's naked on her album cover. There's multiple pictures of the woman nude. And then the Lakers game thing. It is questionable what's really going on here with her being seen naked. Are they parading her around for some type of agenda? Or, I mean, this is who she is, right? Or is her brand or what?
I mean, this is who she is. This is her. This is how she wants to, express yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong with expressing yourself. If you want to get on your Instagram and, show pics and all that, I just drew the line when she did that at the game, but
that's when you think it was taken a bit too far.
That's for me.
I can see
that's
that.
For me.
I mean, okay.
I feel like certain stuff, especially when it comes to like family stuff, and LeBron James, I think he should have spoke out about it. I mean, he had his family there. He had his daughters who was at the
y'all
game.
Y'all just put so much responsibility on that LeBron James.
No,
I'm sorry, man. Y'all really do.
I mean, I'm just saying he should have spoke out because he was the one that invited her to the game.
Oh.
So that's why I said that.
Okay.
He invited her to the game. And after all that happened and they asked him about it, he's like, I don't see nothing wrong with it.
Keyonna?
I think two things can be true at the same time. I think she could be paraded as just I won't say mammy, but I think she could be paraded around. But also I think that's truly who she is and her brand is. I think the reason why she was naked on her album cover or why she continues to be nude is so that society in America can be more comfortable with seeing larger figure women be comfortable in their bodies and be sexy without them having to be clothed or having to forcefully be put into a box that they can't be sexy or it can't be freeing in their own bodies. And that the more you see it, the more you're going to be used to it, basically. And then it's going to give her audience the confidence to say, well, I think I want to do it too. Maybe I don't have to wear a t-shirt in a pool. Maybe I can wear a bikini, actually. Because a lot of people are very uncomfortable with their bodies. And so seeing Lizzo was probably an inspiration for them to be more comfortable and to wear the things that they want to wear and do the things that they want to do. But I also can see the point of her being paraded around and basically being like this token black girl who's big, who's plus size. Because since Lizzo has been out, there's only has been like one like her. And do I foresee others coming into her lane? They probably would try, but I don't think it would be successful because they have that thing that there has to be one of just everything.
So who's the other like her?
That's what I say. There's no one like her. I was saying, like, will there others be like her? No, probably. But are there other artists that probably want to be like? It's an artist. There's plenty of like plus size rappers that I'm sure is trying to come into the industry, but because we have Lizzo, they probably won't let them in.
All right. What about singers?
There's not a lot of mainstream plus size singers.
I mean,
Definitely of color. No.
what about Jill Scott? She was a plus size.
But
we're getting into that one.
So Jill Scott, first
Before
of all,
she lost weight.
Jill Scott is well known within hip hop, R&B, neo soul, but she's not mainstream. She's not a mainstream artist. Lizzo is a mainstream artist.
So
you never seen Jill Scott perform at the VMAs. I don't even think I've seen Jill Scott perform at the BET Awards. Recently.
I'm pretty sure.
Recently.
Probably
in the last 3 to 4 years. No.
I would say recently, but like.
So let's really break this joint down. And I think I was reading a little bit about this too. This industry's expectations for females to be hypersexual. That's deep. Jill Scott wasn't hypersexualized. She wasn't going to put that onto her because the music industry wants females to really be hypersexualized and want them to do this stuff. This woman is a plus size woman. She fat, you know what I mean? I don't think that's wrong to say, and I think she would probably say that. She plus size though. She's a larger woman, and she wanted to get a track out there. So she may have said, well, you know, let's re-release these records and let me show some skin. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, you kind of big, and then like she like, well, you know what I mean, hold my tea because I think I'm gonna do this thing and we gotta make it big. And they said, well, you know, we got a music video for you. You wanna, you know what I mean, take your clothes off, and you know. So I can see how this whole conversation could have went with her, her branding people, her studio people. Like, dang, how are we gonna hypersexualize this woman? She's so big and so. And she said, well, I can do it. I promise you, I'll do it for the money. We can get it done. And then she like, well, you really want the bag that much? I mean, I don't know if it's really in, you know, we might have to hype up the thing with you loving yourself. How about that? And she like, all right, I'll put a little self-love up in there. You know what I mean? So it's a lot going on here. These skinny girls don't be talking about self-love like that. They just show their cheeks. They just show their behind. The black woman who's large, she's like, hey, how am I gonna get these people to like me? I'm all big. People may, you know what I mean, say something. Let me, man, maybe you know what? I'm doing it for self-love. And you know, the white liberals and the people, they're like, oh, thank God we love Lizzo and stuff. She's showing herself nude. And some people did feel good. I think some people were like, dang, I'm big too. Maybe I can show it, you know what I mean? Show a little something. So it's something to think about. And it's nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong with having self-love.
Nothing.
You should have self-love.
I hope
you
do.
should love yourself. You should love your body. You should love everything about you.
Yeah.
Whether you're big or small. I don't really.
Yeah, because you like big girls, so you know.
Yo, why are you about to come out and just?
I'm playing with him.
Why you gotta come out? All right. Look, I don't have no problem with big girls.
We know.
Okay?
So come on. If Lizzo was here right now, man.
Look, Lizzo's not ugly.
No, she's
not. I'm not saying
not.
Lizzo ugly. Lizzo's definitely not ugly. She got a cute face.
You probably played that Lakers game clip up with Jillian.
Yo, nah, now you drawing. I'm playing with him.
Lizzo's
Lizzo's not ugly. Like
No, not at all. No. And she can sing. I mean, she got a little
yeah,
something.
she's not a bad.
she be
She's
on the
not a
flute,
bad artist.
No, really, she not.
She's not a bad artist.
But she is hypersexualized.
She is hypersexualized, and I think a lot of these females are hypersexualized.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh
I
yes.
I think that's the thing about
Nicki Minaj.
this industry, especially like when it comes to black female artists. I think they like to hypersexualize them, and then that plays a part in our culture also. Plays a big part.
Yes. Yes. People looking up to these people.
And that's why
People are looking up to these people.
But you do have artists who, even the artists that you name, have a lot of moments where they're not being sexual at all, and they try to be really real, but no one pays attention to it.
Dang.
Like, you have artists like Tierra Whack, who doesn't do anything, but yet, where is she? There's a lot of artists who are very conscious, they're very creative. There's a lot of artists who don't show their skin at all, but consumers doesn't pay attention to that. They pay attention to people who are naked and out there. So can you really fault them? I mean, you can't really blame them. Definitely if it's their label who's doing this stuff. And there's plenty of moments where Lizzo wasn't very sexual, or showing off her skin. It's just that people chose to pay attention to those moments.
Dang.
And highlight those moments more than the moments where she was real and being vulnerable.
well, of course
Keyonna, you're right.
they will
saying
highlight
something.
those moments because sex sells.
I was just about to say
Sex sells.
Gosh.
I'm sorry.
Why y'all
Sex
think
sells.
this show
And
is
that's
doing
why-
so good?
That's why you see
Why
it.
y'all think we get viewers?
That's why you see it overly used in music, entertainment,
Right.
commercials. You see it everywhere. Sex sells.
Right.
So yeah, her being hypersexualized, it is helping her get sales. I would say that. But
Oh,
does she needs to be like hypersexualized all the
the
time?
reason why you're uncomfortable is because this woman's large.
No, it's not. No,
It is,
not.
Rob. Come
It's
on,
not.
man. Be
It's not.
serious.
it's not. It's not. It's not.
Rihanna was doing some of the same stuff. We got multiple pics of this girl's whatever showing.
And
You know
I
what
don't
mean?
agree with Rihanna either.
Well, I don't agree with it either. But some of y'all sat back and said, "Well, let this little skinny Caribbean girl show whatever," and you know
I
what I
don't
mean.
agree with Rihanna.
No,
doing it.
I will say that game thing, man, that was almost tacky. Supposedly that same week, she was up for Entertainer of the Year with Time Magazine. She just was named Entertainer of the Year, and I don't know, man.
I don't have a problem with Lizzo being fat.
I don't know. I'm not saying that. I said you got a problem with her being fat and naked.
I actually don't have a problem with her being fat and naked.
It's the and naked part.
I think her album
know.
cover. I think her on the album cover was dope.
Okay, you like that.
Yeah, I think her on the album cover was dope.
You like that. You
Yeah.
like that. I had an issue with.
I just didn't agree with her going to the game and doing all that. But her on the album cover, I think it was dope.
I've seen worse.
Uh-oh.
I have.
Name something.
Ooh.
Name something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like at basketball games, there was literally, like I said, I'm not a big sports watcher,
Okay.
but I remember it was like this big thing when like basketball players was beating up people in the crowd, and there was like riots going on.
Oh
And,
wait,
like,
what year is this?
It was like a long time ago. It was like Rumble in the Jungle or something like that. I don't know if y'all remember it, but it's literally stuff that happens like that. Like it's literally girls who are probably less stressed than that come to the games to get the attention of basketball players. No one says anything about them.
Some of them NASCAR games, some of them girls
They
be
flashing.
throwing-
And kids are at those games. Kids are at those
And
games.
I don't agree
Some
with
of
that
the Raiders-
either. That
You
should not
have-
be happening
Yeah,
with
but the
kids.
reason why that-
you have Laker girls and cheerleaders with short shorts and their boobs out and dancing very sexy in front of kids. No one says
Whoa,
anything.
whoa,
Unless
hold
they
up,
had
their
time
boobs are
performance.
not out, though.
But
Yeah,
it's
they're-
up. They're like up.
Yeah, but wait a minute. This is slightly different than a thong thing.
Yeah.
No one's
and,
in a thong.
But-
And then
No, wait a
basketball
minute, but people
cheerleaders,
were-
they're more,
People
little
were
more dressed.
people were saying that they didn't want their kids to view anything of them being anything near what Lizzo is at basketball games, but they're not situations where it's as the same as Lizzo, but it's surrounding Lizzo. Violence, you still getting violence, you still getting girls half naked, you still getting all of that. That's what I'm saying. You're still getting all of that, and this goes on all the time. No one says anything. They just have a problem because she was plus size. For some reason, society doesn't like plus size girls and anything that's less than them showing their ankles. And it is what it is. Like, I want people to be honest. They just didn't find her attractive enough to wear their outfit. If it was anybody else, they wouldn't have said anything.
Wow. Societies don't like fat
I'm talking about social media. Like, it would have been this social media uproar.
Well, society don't like fat people. We all know that.
We're gonna have to have a whole episode just on fat shaming. But I think we just need an episode on that.
I think when people do dumb stuff, we shouldn't like excuse it as fat shaming. But
that's
Lizzo,
true. That's true too.
And
that's true too.
Lizzo, she is very attractive. I have seen some stuff on her Instagram. She's a nice woman. I'm gonna say that. I'm definitely gonna say that. We're about to end this soon though.
World of Controversy podcast episode 4. We had a good time today. I know we had a short one for him today, right, Rob?
Yeah, short one.
We had a good one today. Lizzo, Lil Nas X, definitely give us your opinions. We got Keyonna Butler in the studio. We had a good time talking to her. She's a fashion designer and a up-and-coming a figure in the creative Philadelphia scene, the creative art scene, and we were so glad to have her on. Where can they follow you, Keyonna?
You can follow me on Instagram at Keyonna_Butler or at by Keyonna Butler, and Keyonna spelled Keyyonna.
Bad. Rob?
You can find me JWizzle_ on Instagram and Julian Robinson on Facebook.
Yes, and I'm your brother Germ Griffin. You can follow me at germ.griffin, germtwix on Twitter. Robinson, you want to take them away?
All right. Also, for our podcast, you can follow us at WOC_pod for Instagram, right? And WOC_pod for Twitter. And WOC podcast on Facebook. Also, next week, join us as we're going to have an interesting topic to talk about. Because we're going to talk about Cardi B and her getting this divorce. Also, we're going to talk about her song, WAP. So get ready, because as our World of Controversy, we also talk about our entertainment side. So, another entertainment next week. Join us. Peace.
Bad.